Hey Metalheads, ich bin Paolo und ich habe die Ehre für Magenta Musik das ganze Wochenende hier auf Wacken sein zu dürfen. Aber ich bin jetzt nicht alleine hier, sondern ich habe für mich einen unglaublich besonderen Gast und zwar Ville Valo. Ville,
hello Paolo.
How is it to be here at...
Wie geht's?
Sehr gut, und dir?
Oh, wunderbar. That's probably the German I know. Yeah, things are good. Things are good. It's been a crazy couple of days with the weather here in Wacken, and this is my first time here. So it seems to be a very special one.
So what's it like to be at the mecca of heavy metal?
I don't know yet. We just came in here, and it was quite scary. Just to go through the catering area. People have more hair than it should be legal, but they all look like Vikings, so I feel right at home.
I think it's not hard to see that I am a die-hard Ville Valo and him fan.
Ooh.
And I think if 11-year-old me would be here right now, I would lay fainting on the floor.
Well, thank you. Enough, you're 13. Well, good.
20 years waiting to see you here at Wacken.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you bring for us today?
We've been rehearsing our butts off. I think this is about our 80th show with the new band, so we should be in good shape. And we brought a lot of hymn songs, a lot of songs from the past, and a lot of songs from these times, the current stuff I've been working on, and it's a mixture of all that. I don't know, to be honest with you. I think audience makes the gig as well, so it's always about how it all looks and feels, and it's not the same show each and every night, and that's what makes it interesting.
Since I will probably be around 0.001% of that audience, I'll try to do my part, but
thank you.
Since you mentioned the past,
yeah.
To me Razorblade Romance is one of the 10 best albums ever made.
Oh wow.
Are there some hymn albums that have a special place in your heart?
My favorite is probably Love Metal, because that's the first album we used the heartagram on the cover, and we kind of found our way as a band. We felt really good as a band, and sort of like fell into, brought all the sort of like Black Sabbath influences more to the fore, and that was important for us, I think, on a mental level, and that was the album that got us to tour the UK and the US for the first time as well, so it was a big stepping stone for ourselves. But I'm glad it seems that most of the albums have special meaning, to some people somewhere, so that's a good sign, as opposed to just one album, making a dent.
Since you already said Love Metal has a very special place in your heart,
yeah.
We know that Wacken is the mecca of heavy metal. What would be the mecca of Love Metal?
Well, it remains to be seen. Well, probably Helsinki at the end of the day. But I think we're trying to bring the Mecca with us. So it's the communal feeling when the music is passion and having a good time. It's I think that's it. That's it. It always travels with us. It's a Mecca that travels, and it's not the only one, I guess.
It's the aura around you and the band.
I guess the music and the orchestra and the audience. It's the combo. That's what it is.
So I have a personal story with that heartagram that you mentioned, and it's that my girlfriend and me, we actually met because we saw each other's heartagram tattoos.
Ooh.
And so we already knew, okay, the good music taste, we can check that, and the rest was a history. And a few weeks ago, we got a heartagram each with our initials on the ribs.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
I have to say, wow. Yeah, music is a weird thing, and the symbols of metal. I remember, being I grew up with like White Zombie, and I remember Rob Zombie's image being so strong, and all the cover artwork, and Maiden, of course. I just found these little drawings I made of Eddie when I was maybe 7 or 8 years old in school and stuff like that, and it's important, especially with metal and darker, sort of heavier music. The symbolism and the visual aspect, and I understand its power. I was always hoping that we could come up with something like that, and then on one stormy night back in '96, I think I drew it, and it's followed us ever since. It's been weird how well it's traveled. Heartagram all around the world, and people have it tattooed. And
I think it's one of the most iconic band logos ever made. It's like
who am I to say? But
it's like the yin yang, but in super cool.
What I found nice about it is also that people seem to smile when they see it. You know, they have a good vibes, or there are good vibrations surrounding the cymbals. So, because at first, you know, people thought that it has something to do with the occult, and you know, where Satan worshippers that want to steal your children. But no, we only want to steal your money and your drugs.
Maybe they thought so because of the written out name of His Infernal Majesty.
Could be. Yeah, that's very true. We were sort of like, we were playing with fire when we were younger, but that's what you do.
In a very cruel world where music would not exist,
Ooh.
what would be the ideal profession for Ville Valo?
Oh man, what an interesting question. Well, without music, I'd probably be a cab driver. My dad he drove taxi for a long time, and now he's had a sex shop in Helsinki for the past 30 years or so. But I feel somehow I feel a strong connection to the taxi driver community wherever I am in the world. But I have to get my license first. So,
is it hard over there in Finland to get it?
No, I'm just stupid. That's the difference, you know. It'll take me ages.
So we already talked about a world without music, which to me sounds like hell. So let's pretend you had an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other one. What would they say to you?
I don't know, because I'm wearing earplugs. You got to protect your hearing when you're in a rock band.
So you're always traveling with your crew and your band. What personality traits are the ones that you value the most in the people around you?
I think we're still going through a sort of this is a honeymoon phase. The band is pretty new, and we only started touring earlier this year, so we're still getting to know each other, and which is I find very endearing. So it's not yet come to the level of knowing in the dark bus by the smell of a fart who it is, you know, because that eventually happens, and because you can't avoid it. It's a lot of times being in a band and touring is way closer than having a relationship with a, you know, with a girlfriend or so forth. You know, it's because you're smelly and you're sweaty and you're tired and you're all those things that you try to avoid in your normal life, but all that stuff gets seen on a tour bus. So it's quite special. You get really close to people, but I think in general, patience is a virtue. You know, especially when in a rock band.
I think that your new album is amazing, and
Thank you.
in time the new songs will become classics like the old ones.
You can never tell.
I believe that you dedicated the album to your girlfriend Crystal.
Yes.
How did you know that she is the one?
Well, the cool answer should be, well, I don't. But no, it's well, you just know, don't you? It's like she didn't have a heartagram tattoo, so we can compare on that level. I didn't know about her musical taste, but you just know, and that's the cool thing about love and yeah, in general, because there is no rhyme and reason, and it is a mystical power, and it still overwhelms me as much as it did overwhelm me when I was 14. You know, still a mystical power, and that's why I tend to write songs about it. So.
Do you think that love is the most important emotion when it comes to songwriting for you, or?
Not necessarily, but what I just mentioned is the fact that I can't get my head around it, and that's what makes it interesting, because it doesn't make any sense, and it's not like there's no mathematical equation for love, which makes it makes it all encompassing. It's just, yeah. It's a gift that keeps on giving. That's what it is. At least, you know, musically speaking, and why not in real life too? You know.
As a guy from Finland with a band that has been very successful and a logo that's even bigger than the band, what was it like getting used to the level of attention to be known all around the world?
Well, I don't think that you really notice it when you're working and when you're touring, because you're living in such a bubble that I'd say that now I've heard of it a bit more after the pandemic and after him broke up. Now on this tour, people have been telling me more about what kind of how important him was for them, or or they started to use these words like legend, talking about legendary Finnish band, him or whatever. Because when we were around, we definitely weren't legendary. We felt that we were always fighting an uphill battle, and so it's yeah. I'm getting used to the whole the being liked part. I thought that we were always outsiders, and people didn't know whether we were a rock band or a metal band or a pop band, and nobody really liked us, and we were just a bunch of weirdos. And
I would go as far to say that him made a lot of people interested in Finland in the first place. So maybe the tourism department, they should start maybe paying you a little bit.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, yeah. I've been trying to get them to use heartagram on the Finnish flag. That'd be quite cool. In the it's a cross. They could invert it and then have a heartagram in the center, and that would make all sense in the world.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
For being here. It's been absolutely a dream come true for me.
Likewise.
And es war absolut unglaublich für mich, Ville Valo endlich mal persönlich treffen zu können, ihnen Fragen stellen zu können. Und ich hoffe, dass ihr auf Magenta Musik das Wacken Festival weiter verfolgt und weiterhin viel Spaß habt. Rock on!